I'm not going to do a fully comprehensive review of all of these features, just the features that I use a lot, because there are lots of guys who are going to do a much better job than me at doing a comprehensive review of this firmware. I just want to show you some of the features that I use daily as a professional and the things that I was pretty excited to get with this firmware update. So check this out. Hey, happy Monday. This is pretty exciting. DJI has released the January 22 firmware for the Mavic 3, which if you've got a Mavic 3, this is exciting stuff, you know. I'm looking at it right now, and there are some features that I, as a professional, I'm pretty excited about. Probably not a lot of people who aren't working professionally with their drones, not a lot of those people would have gotten a Mavic 3 Cine. I'm one of those people. I needed a quiet drone because the Inspired 2s that I use all the time are simply too loud for certain situations, too big. I was in Costa Rica working in the jungle, having to fly and shoot these competitions under the jungle canopy. And sometimes the Inspire would just blow leaves everywhere. It would always make a ton of noise. You know, four boom operators standing around really hating me. So I ended up grounded on some of these competitions until I broke out the Air 2S. So as soon as I got home from that job, I got a Mavic 3. It's actually quieter than the Air 2S even. It's amazingly quiet. And you know, it's got the terabyte of memory built in. It shoots straight to ProRes, but it had some shortcomings. And this new firmware update nails a lot of those. I'm not going to go into all of these. Some of them are features I really don't use generally because they're more sort of home user features. Although I think QuickShots, some of these shots actually could be useful in a pro setting if it's letting you record now to pro level resolutions and to ProRes. Some of these QuickShots could be handy. Panorama mode is always cool. Burst shooting is super cool. The digital zoom, they're still not letting us use the actual zoom lens, the second lens on this thing in pro modes. It's only available in this explore mode at 30 frames or 60 frames, which is not useful for most professional settings. The color display assist for D-Log is huge. I will show you what that looks like. The 4K 60 frame manual EI adjustment for MasterShots. MasterShots, again, not something you use in a pro setting very often, but cool if we can run 4K 60 frame and make adjustments. That might actually be useful then. I'm not sure what QuickTransfer is. Zoom and D-Log for FocusTrack when recording video. Cool. If you're using FocusTrack features, it's great to be able to use Zoom and D-Log. This return to home altitude for advanced return to home. What this does, advanced return to home will find its way home at whatever altitude the drone is at, rather than defaulting to having to go up. So if you were, say, under the forest canopy, on a road or something with trees above, you don't want the drone to just go up and try to come home. With this intelligent return to home, it should be able to pick its way down a road or around corners, that kind of thing. But you also are now giving it an altitude so that if it's too dark and it can't find its way home with vision sensors, it will go up and do a straight line return to home. This USB mode for Mavic 3 Cine is actually pretty cool. Let me show you this real quick while we're talking about it. So this is in the camera settings under storage. You've got this USB mode. And what this is going to do, now when I plug into my computer, you can hear right now, normally, well, you can't hear, but normally the drone, it's powered up in order to be able to offload the hard drive for this thing. So after a day of shooting, I've got 900 gigabytes or something on there. I would have to power this thing up, and then the fan's running, it's in full power mode. That was a bummer. Now I can plug it in. It's going to come up as a drive. and moments later, the fan cuts off. You can't hear that, but the fan just cut off. And it has now gone into some lower power mode, and the hard drive has popped up on my computer. So that's very cool. Now when I unplug it, I actually have to restart the drone to get it back connected, get it out of that mode. And I'm probably not going to show you that here now, but basically using a good quality cable like the one they provide, I'm getting running to my laptop's Thunderbolt port. This is a PC, and I'm getting about 600 megabytes per second. So I copied a 7 terabyte file.
Point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
I copied a 7 terabyte file in just a couple of seconds. It's just, it's super quick. So that's really cool. I'm not sure about this color correction. We'll see, or somebody else will see. Image sharpness and all that stuff, but this is the other big one for me right here. Use the RC Pro with the Air 2S. So now, assuming that works properly, I can sell my smart controller maybe to one of you, because now I've got one controller to rule them all. Well, to rule this and the Air 2S at least. I've still got a whole bunch of other gear for my Inspires, and then other gear for my FPVs. But the other one I will show you real quick here that's probably, it's in the top 3 biggest features here, is the way the Pro menu looks now. If you're working in a Pro setting, you probably are not using auto. Well, now they've improved the menus down here, where you've basically got really quick, just click at the bottom, and first of all, I'm like, okay, what resolution am I running? And I've got all the way up to 60 frame if I want, but I'm going 24 frame a lot of the time. I'm probably going to go the wider. This C4K is a wider format, but it cuts off a little at the top. If you look at the difference between that, look at the very top and bottom of my screen, and then look at it now, it's cut a little bit. And also the 5K, 5.1K is the same frame as the C4K. But still, it's not cutting off very much. So anyway, this is a very, very cool setup here. Now it's super easy to go D-Log or normal color. I'm going to go D-Log. You can see how much the zebra lines change back there based on being in D-Log. And my color display assist, ProRes, everything is just at your fingertips here. So there's that color display assist. See how gray that is? I'll show you real quick. See, it's super gray back there, right? Because we're in D-Log mode. Now we go in here, color display assist, and everything is more contrasty, and you can really see what you need to see, which is great. And then if we just go over here, this one other button, now all of this stuff is available at our fingertips, which is where it should be. This is what it should have been all along. This is a much more pro setup and much more usable, this new menu system. So they've quickly brought this thing into being so much more useful for professionals. I think this screen mirroring or live view, I'm guessing that is what they mean for clean HDMI footage. I think that means the HDMI output now is not going to have all my OSD everything on it. I assume that means it's just going to send out what's on the screen there. So that's probably what we want. Let's go fly and try some of these modes. All right, let's try out a few of these features, huh? Hey, bird. I've quickly got access here to my menus. I'm shooting 5.1K, 24 frame, D-Log, color assist. You can see what it looks like without color assist. Or can you? It's interesting. It's just locking in color assist. Let's see what it does here. Yeah, I guess because I'm recording, it just locks it in. Okay, well, it looks good to me. FocusTrack not supported. Okay, I'm gonna stop that recording. FocusTrack not supported. I'm gonna start from up here. And we'll see if it'll safely do this.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, looks like that's gonna work. It's probably gonna lose me. Yeah, it's definitely gonna lose me. Let me move out here a little bit. It lost me, but it's still still basically went up and did its thing. Now it's coming back down. I also want to know what if I go 4K D-Log, will I have access to Spotlight? No, because of ProRes. So Spotlight mode is still not available, and that's one of the handiest features, I think, that could be used in a pro setting. So let's go H.265. Now I have Spotlight mode. And the reason that's so big is because let's say I'm working with in a challenge situation and I'm chasing contestants. So now basically the contestants are on the wire and I need to do just these kind of classic up and down shots, which certainly you do a lot of these manually, but it's really hard to do them that smoothly. I can tell you that. And if I was able to just basically put the drone on, lock onto a subject and do this and do that, that would be pretty huge. So please, DJI, put this into ProRes mode. That would be really big. I think one of the biggest features missing here is being able to do Spotlight mode in ProRes. Just from a pro user standpoint, because Spotlight mode is so good now at tracking a subject, that is a really usable feature in a pro setting. There are definitely lots of times on those challenges on that last show I was on where I would have locked onto someone climbing on a cliff or one of the hikers on the trail, and if I could just basically fly as if I had a camera operator, just watch the drone under the canopy or in all these obstacles, instead of having to watch the screen to stay focused on the person, on the subject, whatever that subject is, that's big. And certainly I can record to H.264 or H.265 if I need to, but being able to go straight to ProRes would be huge. You know what, let's do a pano. Let's try a sphere. Alright, that's working just like it does on the Air 2S. So that's great. Not that I would use the sphere ever in, well, not for production, but anyway, Let's just go a nice wide angle. Bam. That's nice and quick. Cool. Well, that's very useful. In summary, that's my sort of quick look at, or not so quick look at, just a limited number of the features of the new January 22 Mavic 3 update. And I know it's not a thorough deep dive into all the features, but there are plenty of other people who do a good job at that. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, show you an overview of some of what I think are the most important features, at least for a pro drone op who might be using a Mavic 3. I think it's a really incredibly useful tool in a pro setting for a variety of reasons. It's super quiet, the battery life is incredible, and these new features are really definitely putting it very close. The one caveat that I still see is that the active tracking, which is a super useful feature, although it's super accurate with its tracking, it needs to work in ProRes. I can't imagine why it wouldn't work in ProRes mode. But other than that, I think we're getting pretty close. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.